Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Cypher O Suzuki here, and today we'll be doing, well, first episode, or second episode actually, of anime analysis. If you're not familiar with this series, it was a series I started a while back. First episode was explaining, I do believe, what chakra was. So, if you go into the playlist, on the playlist tab, you'll be able to find it there. Now, without any further ado, I'm going to get right into the video. So before we get into this, we need to understand exactly where the word Yin-Yang comes from. And in actuality, the word Yin-Yang has two meanings in kanji, which are read as on-myo, but are occasionally also read as in-yo. In the real world, in-yo is the common reading of the kanji. Historically, however, the on-myo reading appeared in Japan earlier, and was used in reference to the way of Yin-Yang, or on-myo-do. On-myo conceptually evolved to refer to divination, and various esoteric practices, as association not applied to the in-yo reading. So, according to some scholars that translate on-myo as divination or yin-yang rather than yin and yang. This also refers to the fact that in-yo, which typically refers to just yin-yang, is not exactly as complex as the on-myo reading. Sorry about that, my brother's laughing in the background and I can't get him to shut up. This is the fourth time recording the video. Okay, so now we've got that, let's move on to a couple of references we get from anime and the manga. Well, in chapter 606, Madara tells Obito that he will teach him how to use the Yin-Yang release. Well, the techniques of it, of course, and subsequently implies that he used the Yin and Yang release to create the white Zetsu. In these instances, the kanji for Yin and Yang are read as in-yo, which, if you were listening earlier, you would understand. Now, bear in mind there will be slight spoilers if you haven't watched Naruto yet, but really, you shouldn't be watching this video if you've not watched Naruto yet. Okay, so, also in the anime, Obito uses the in-yo reading when explaining Izanagi to Conan after their fight, despite using the on-myo reading in the manga. And then our final reference we get from it is in chapter 684, Black Zetsu uses the in-yo reading to refer to Naruto and Sasuke's yin and yang powers, the in-yo no chakra. So now we understand that, we should also need to understand what exactly are the techniques of this. Well, the techniques are very complicated, and I guess the techniques fall under a specific category which are used. So, let's go on to this. So, the techniques for Yin-Yang release contain the Creations of All Things technique, the Demise Truth-Seeking Ball, the Divine Sword of Nunoboko, the Expansive Truth-Seeking Ball, Horizon Meteor, Six Paths Chibaku Tensei, or, as many of you may be aware, the technique that Pain used to try and capture Naruto in, well, the pain arc. Then we've also got the 6 paths cross lantern, and the truth-seeking balls, and then the truth-seeking scorched earth. Now, of course, these are just some of the techniques. Not all of them are actually recorded, so we don't know exactly everything. So let's move on to the users of these techniques. Well, the first one, and the most notable ones, would be the Ten Tails, Hagoromo, Asura, and Kaguya, followed by a few lesser known ones like Naruto, Obito, Madara, Hamura, and Toneri, which all fall under the typical category of Otsutsuki. The only ones who are not Otsutsuki who use the techniques are Madara, Obito, and Naruto, which still leaves Naruto as the minority, given that he is the Uzumaki in the equation, and everyone else is either an Otsutsuki or a Uchiha. So that's typically something we won't refer to right now. Now, let's get into what exactly Yin-Yang release is. Well, Yin-Yang release is the nature transformation that combines both Yin and Yang release. Two natures that both exist outside the 5 basic elemental natures, which are fire, lightning, earth, water, and wind. Now, of course, there are other subgroups such as the Kekkei Genkai, which if you want me to cover them in a later video, leave a like. So, Yin release actually uses the spiritual energy, whereas Yang release uses the physical energy. And if you're familiar with what chakra is from, well, watching the show, then, or reading the manga, if you're a manga reader, these are the 2 components of chakra. This in turn means that all jutsu that utilize chakra, of course, are at least very distantly rooted to the Yin-Yang release, and the 2 components as such, Yin and Yang. Hagoromo Otsutsuki, well, as we know, one of the users of the Yin-Yang release, was famed as the Sage of 6 Paths, utilizing the Yin and Yang release with the creation of all things technique, by creating form out of nothingness, and then giving said form life. He was able to create the 9 tails from this technique. The 9 tails, the 8 tails, the 7 tails, and all the tailed beasts from this technique, from the 10 tails chakra, which he sealed the husk of in the moon with his mother. So, centuries later, Hagoromo's spirit will end up giving some to Naruto. Well, Naruto Uzumaki, another user of the technique as we saw earlier, which allows Naruto to use the Yin-Yang release as well, which he uses to stabilize Might Guy, who was dying from the earlier use of the 8 gates release formation. He restores Kakashi Hatake's left eye, which Kakashi lost decades earlier, and then proceeds to resuscitate Obito Uchiha, whose body was badly damaged and fatigued from having the 10 tails removed from his body. But Yin-Yang release's abilities are very limited, as Naruto could not save Obito or anyone from the all-killing Ash Bones, of which Kaguya uses. Yin-Yang release can be used to nullify the effects of all ninjutsu. Well, during Jinchuriki of the Ten Tails take advantage of this by, well, adding the Yin-Yang chakra to their truth-seeking orbs. When the orbs surround the Jinchuriki as a defense, no ninjutsu can harm them. When the balls are made into weapons, the weapon can break through any ninjutsu, even nullifying the regenerative bodies of those revived with the Edo Tensei, or impure world reincarnation. According to Sasuke Uchiha, only through combination of the Yin and Yang powers could Kaguya Otsutsuki, the progenitor chakra itself, be resealed and the earth saved from, well, being trapped in an infinite genjutsu, also known as the infinite Tsukiyomi. So, then what exactly are we looking at here? Well, in summary, the Yin-Yang release is a combination of everything. And when these techniques are used in conjunction with each other, they can create really powerful techniques which are referred to as 6 paths techniques. Six paths referring to the other name for this chakra being Six Paths Chakra. I hope I'm not butchering this, by the way. I'm just using off what my knowledge is. So, thank you for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I will list my source in the description. Now, thanks for watching, have a great day, and leave a like, subscribe, and goodbye!